So you decided you wanted to clean up your diet. You get started, you start seeing results, but all of a sudden you get so hungry. And every time you see a carb on the street, you just cannot control yourself. You see, you could be on 1,500 calories, 1,800 calories and be starving. Or you can be on the same calories and function much better. And having worked with over 500 people from all over the world on exactly this, I have a very unique perspective of what works in real life for people like you, living a real life, not some sort of like clinical trial somewhere where the test subjects lives a completely different life than you do. No, real life implementation of how you can make your diet way more sustainable. That's exactly what we're going to go over in this video. Real life advice for real people. And today we're going to start with why it happens that is so hard for you to control your hunger in your deficit, or even if it's just maintenance. Because if you can relate to this, then the solution that comes right after, which I'm going to give you, will hit home. Let's go. And reason number one, why you're so freaking hungry: too aggressive deficit. By this, you're basically forcing your body to adapt what's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. How many calories your body burns every day just from like walking around, fidgeting, etc. These are the most powerful calories you can actually burn in order to bring your TDEE as high as possible. Automatically, this is going to be decreased because this is your own body's response or self-defense to a massive calorie deficit. It's essentially trying to survive on minimal calories. So you will be sitting down a lot more, you'll be relaxing a lot more and burning way less calories. As a result of this, you will be incredibly hungry. In fact, from my own life, when I am the hungriest, it's not when I'm out and about on the go burning tons of calories. It's when I'm sitting at home on the couch on a Sunday afternoon and the only thing I can think about is just food. And reason number two why your hunger is uncontrolled: protein. Yes, you have heard this a million times before, but there's a reason why you've heard it so many times. Protein is effectively the highest rating macronutrient on the thermic effects of food scale, meaning that you're going to burn 2 to 3 times more calories eating protein than carbs and fat. And because of this, your body takes longer time digesting protein, meaning that your blood sugar is more stable, meaning that you're going to get hungrier later, as opposed to a meal that is just high carb, high fat, no protein, who's going to flush through your digestion, making massive blood sugar swings and creating crazy hunger straight away. So the absence of protein in your diet will completely remove the satiety, the feeling of fullness that you get when you eat a lot of protein. Of course, there's the added benefits of muscle maintenance when you eat protein as well, but that's for another video. Today we're talking about why you're so freaking hungry. And point number 3, why you're so freaking hungry: low fiber. You see, just like protein, fiber slows down your digestion. It slows the gastric emptying. And by doing that, the release of blood sugar into your bloodstream also decreases, giving you more stable blood sugar levels, which, as we know, decreases your crazy hunger spikes. And of course, as we know, you got to eat fiber to feed your healthy gut bacteria, your gut microbiome, basically the brain before the brain when it comes to everything in your body. But all of this combined will increase your satiety. Or, with the lack of fiber, the complete opposite. So, low fiber, the faster the digestion, the quicker the hunger will also return. Next up, point number 4. Low food volume. Oh yes, you've heard this as well before. And no, I am not saying that you need to eat like a rabbit. I'm just saying we need to consider how much bang for buck volume are we getting in your meals. There is actually something called stomach stretch receptors, or at least that's what I call it. It's basically when you eat a lot of volume in your stomach, the receptors tells your brain, hey buddy, we're getting a lot of calories here, or we're getting a lot of food. It's time to produce those satiety hormones. Because your stomach does not respond to calories, it responds to fullness. So think of it this way: if you fill up your plate with lots of vegetables and minimally processed foods, large volume of food, it's going to trigger this mechanical fullness, the stimulation of your satiety hormone, a lot quicker than if you are just eating highly processed foods that has low volume but high calories. And yes, you need, of course, to have a snack in your daily intake. You need to be able to go out and enjoy yourself. But the problem is, when this is the majority of the food that you're eating, then you are really fighting an uphill battle if you're trying to stay full on lower calories. Next point to talk about here, poor sleep. Yes, the one thing nobody wants to work on, and everyone says, I sleep as much as I can, and then they clock in 5 hours of quality sleep every night. Guys, sleep deprivation increases your ghrelin and decreases your leptin production. What this means is that only by sleeping less than your body needs, you're going to feel hungry when you shouldn't be hungry, and you are going to feel full way later than you should when you're eating. That in itself is a recipe for disaster if you're trying to limit your calories. You combine that alone with highly processed foods, and you lost the battle already. Another thing is that when you're sleep deprived, your brain gets 30% less glucose, or its ability to use glucose as a fuel source goes down with 30%, meaning that all of a sudden now your brain will be looking for all these carb sources everywhere else. And that's where that craving for these foods go up. Just like if you're hungover on a Sunday on the couch, you want to eat shitty foods. That is exactly because of this. And then the cherry on top of the cake here, when you're sleep deprived, your prefrontal cortex is impaired, meaning that your decisions are naturally going to be worsened compared to when you are fully recovered. So if you find yourself on the couch and you have to order a healthy meal or an unhealthy meal, if you're sleep deprived, it's going to go over to the unhealthy meal. Again, this is outside your control, even though it sounds like it's inside your control. It just isn't. That's why sleep deprivation is the worst thing that can happen for you if you're trying to adhere to a calorie deficit, or if you're just trying to eat less calories on the daily. Again, you're fighting an uphill battle before you even begin. So after just one bad night's sleep, the next day, your hunger signals will be fighting against you. Next point on the list, over-restriction. And this is not necessarily just tied in to calories, but macronutrients. And the most popular one is carbohydrates. People are slashing the carbohydrate intake down because they think less carbs means fat loss. So you will completely deplete your glycogen stores. Your physique would look super flat. You're going to have no proper performance in your workouts. And it creates this mental restriction in your mindset around certain types of food, which is not sustainable. You live in a world of carbohydrates. Removing that from your life is not going to end well. Not because you're weak, but because the environment you live in don't exactly support this. So please understand this. Over-restriction increases the psychological desire. That's why a lot of bodybuilders, when they come off stage, they gain like 10 kilos, 25 pounds in just 3 days, because they've been so restricted for so long. Their desire in life has gone completely full focus on just overeating carbohydrates and fats. And remember this, the stricter the rule, the stronger the rebound. Keep that in mind the next time you're trying to make some extreme dietary changes in your life. And we're on to point number 7, high stress. Physical, psychological stress increase the body's production of cortisol. I think you follow me so far. Now, cortisol happens to increase your appetite. It increases your desire for quick carbs or quick energy, which is carbs. Just like lack of sleep, it reduces your impulse control, and it encourages your, you ready for it? Emotional eating, right? That's a big one for a lot of people. So it's safe to say that stress makes your hunger feel more urgent. And if you have a food identity around being stressed, being sad, being whatever, and let me go ahead and eat this tub of ice cream, it makes me feel a whole lot better, you can see where we're going here. Hunger all of a sudden turns into something way more than just what I actually need to survive, and it becomes an emotional battle. So with all of these points we see right here, what's common for all of them is that your body adapts to these states. It starts burning less calories, it starts making you less active, it increases your hunger when you shouldn't, and then when you eat, you're gonna feel full later than you should. All a recipe for, I can't stick to a deficit. Not because you actually can't, but because all of these points right here have made it completely impossible for you to stick to something that should have you feeling a little bit hunger, but not starving or feeling of starvation. So it doesn't always have to do with the amount of calories that you're on. Of course it does if you're doing this like extreme, which you shouldn't. But it has more so to do, or in often cases, more so to do with the types of foods that you decide to eat when you're in your deficit, and the environment you present to your body either through stress or lack of sleep. And as you know, guys, on this channel, we always want to give you something to walk away with. I don't just want to say, oh, this is why you can't stick to your deficit, blah, 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 blah. No, you need to know how to fix it. So here's a quick, practical solution that's going to fix all of this. You need to stop this aggressive deficit that you're doing. If you're in this for the long game, if you want to make long-term, sustainable changes in your life that makes you healthier, not more unhealthy, you have to make sure that your deficit is not bigger than 500 calories every single day. In fact, the smaller the deficit, going from 5 to 4 to 300, it's only going to make all of these points here feel much better, which means your adherence long-term is going to be higher, meaning there's going to be less, if no rebound, and you're going to feel so much better throughout this whole process. Second up, you need to eat 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. And I don't even want to hear people that say like, oh, your body can only digest 24. Fuck that. You need to eat enough protein per meal so you can hit your target every single day. 2 grams of protein per 1 kilo of body weight. Once that is achieved long term, we can look at spreading out the protein into more meals. Please remember here, guys, the scientific data doesn't matter if you can't implement it in your life. That is the problem we have in the society right now. We have information everywhere, but nobody knows how to implement it, so they get nowhere. In each meal, you need to have 2 fist sizes of vegetables. Yes, your gut microbiome need the phytochemicals. It need the vitamins, minerals to build a strong army of healthy gut bacteria, to boost your immune system, to give your meals some volume, your jaw some work to chew so your body can produce the satiety hormone. It knows that you're eating now. It's going to prepare the fullness to come instead of just downing stuff you don't even have to chew. You have to keep your steps high. You need to stop going to the gym with the goal of burning calories. That's not why we go to the gym. We go to the gym to build muscle and feel awesome, feel sexy, look good naked, boost performance, all of that stuff. When we look at burning more calories every day, we want to increase NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We want to walk more every single day. The best thing you can do for yourself if you want to burn more calories is to hit 2,000 steps more than you do every single day now, and keep building that up until you hit a threshold that is based on what you can do consistently long term. Whether that's to 8K, 10K, 12K, depends on you and your life. And guess what? You're going to be happier doing this, because there's nothing that makes us more happy than go outside and walk instead of sitting inside in our room alone. And then here's the big one, guys. Here's the kicker. We do not want carbohydrate elimination, please. I know carnivore is everywhere. I know keto is everywhere. People are making millions on this. No, you live a real life in a world built on carbohydrates. You just need to control it. Slow carbohydrate throughout the day, fast carbohydrates around your training. It's not harder than that. Okay, what is fast carbohydrates? It's the kind of stuff that your body absorbs fast, right? It's your pasta, it's your bread, it's your white rice, it's your sugars, it's your fruit juice, etc. And the more minimally processed versions of those are the slower digesting carbohydrates. Your brown rice, your wild rice, your sweet potatoes. You get what I'm saying here, right? In general, do not feed your body quick energy when you have no quick output. That makes a lot of sense. You have steady energy expenditure. Feed your body slow releasing carbohydrates, right? Oftentimes, minimally processed foods. You can see, guys, I'm not here lying to you. I'm telling you, enforcing the knowledge you already have. And I know this is a fact because I work with people every single day and I get people excellent results with this basic information because it works. And the last thing, guys, that you're just going to have to focus on is also the most important of all of them. It's your sleep consistency. You have to get 7 hours every night. If you want to be a Superman, get 8 hours. You have to go to bed at the same time every day, and you have to wake up at the same time every day. And guess what? Everyone in society is not doing that because they go out and get fucked every single weekend. But these people are also the people who's not happy with how they look or how they feel. This is not me preaching anything. I'm just stating the obvious. You need sleep. Your sleep is when you recharge your batteries physically, mentally, everything, hormonally. You build muscle. You do everything that is good for you when you sleep. Imagine if you start prioritizing that, how much better your life is going to be. Come on, guys. Every time we're trying to achieve something positive with our body, mentally or physically, it always starts with sleep. No medicine can replace this. No drug you can inject can replace this. You have to make sure you create a good sleeping environment and you get the hours that your body needs so that you can then use that to support the training, the activity, the mental burden, whatever you have in your life. But if you remove that, you're going to be a shell of yourself. So here's your big reframe for today, guys. Hunger, let's say you're in a deficit. Hunger should not feel like suffering. But hunger in a deficit is normal. If anyone has ever told you that you should not be hungry in a deficit, they are saying and they are denying your normal bodily functions. When your body is in a calorie deficit, the body is like, hey, I need food, hunger. That's how it literally ensures you survive. You cannot avoid that. But that doesn't mean we should be starving. So if you are starving, you are not broken, but your structure is. Guys, if you're sick and tired of dealing with stuff like this, you just can't find something that works for you in your life, I offer coaching. I work with people from all over the world on optimizing their health, their physique, their performance in everyday life, long-term results. If that's something you're interested in, the link is in the description. But if not, perfectly fine. The fact that you're watching this video for me is more than enough. So I want to thank you for making it this far in the video. I put out videos every Monday and every Thursday. So make sure you're subscribed. If you want to see those when they come out, I cover everything from fat loss to muscle building to lifestyle, everything that people need to just look and feel the best in everyday real life. If you have any topic you want me to cover, drop it in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Peace.